My best friend is the epitome of elegance, a serene beauty with both striking looks and a kind heart. She carries herself with an effortless grace, eschewing any notions of extravagance, and has even gifted my designer handbags and jewelry to the president of the student council. With a generous spirit, she extends her compassion to impoverished students, treating them to meals at my expense, using my living allowance to fund their dining experiences. In our class, a rather unsavory boy expressed his admiration for me, and fearing that I might shy away from a potential romance, she resorted to drugging me and delivering me into his hands. When our dormitory was invaded, she dissuaded me from reporting it to the authorities, claiming it was essential to offer the perpetrator a chance for redemption, lest his future be marred. In the end, she garnered a stellar reputation, while I succumbed to despair and humiliation. In this new life, I find my friend, Li Ru, rummaging through my drawer, inquiring after my LV handbag. Su Yuan, I must ask, why are you so extravagant? Are you not the daughter of a capitalist? She chides. What university student carries an LV? It simply doesn't suit your temperament. Take my advice, sport this canvas bag instead, and you will undoubtedly captivate a multitude of admirers. I retreat a couple of steps from the $9.9 bag she waves before me, disdain evident in my posture. In my previous life, her styling rendered me dowdy and foolish, while she donned my designer attire, basking in the spotlight as the revered young lady, earning the attention of wealthy heirs. To I, in comparison, I appeared utterly mundane. Noticing my silence, she waved her hand in front of me. Hey, what's the matter? The daughter of a capitalist, ha ha ha. She and her entourage erupted into exaggerated laughter. This time, I could not overlook the greed and calculation gleaming in her eyes. With a frigid glance, I retorted, "You're deranged. What gives you the right to invade my space? How many luxury items I possess is none of your concern." With that, I shoved her aside. Su Yuan, I am merely looking out for you. When we dine with the underprivileged later, how will they view you if you carry an LV? Why should I? Shouldn't you be the one to carry it? What are you saying? Li Ru stepped back, defensively positioning herself in front of her wardrobe. I yanked her aside and flung open her closet, revealing it stuffed with designer bags, all of which my father had sent from abroad, many still adorned with tags, pilfered by Li Ru. The clothes and shoes on the lower rack were all too familiar. How do you explain this? I only wanted to prevent my classmates from gossiping about you. You must have heard them calling me the young lady. I have borne the brunt of their scorn on your behalf. You should be grateful instead of fretting over a few bags. Ignoring her, I extracted my belongings from her closet. Li Ru shrieked. What are you doing? Those are my bags, my dresses. What do you mean your bags? This is rightfully mine, I declared, returning her pile of tattered clothes that she had forced upon me in an effort to mold me into the image of a neighborly girl. Having scored just above the cutoff for a second-tier university, I rejected my family's wishes to study abroad, opting instead for a modest private institution in our country. Upon my arrival, Li Ru inundated me with warnings that this school was filled with students from humble backgrounds who would scorn someone of my privileged status, insisting that I refrain from wearing designer labels or carrying luxury goods. She aimed to craft an image of a relatable, down-to-earth girl for me. While I considered her a friend, she viewed me as a fool. She would quickly divest me of my luxury items, using them to elevate her social standing. The remaining bags in my closet were either given to the student council president or bestowed upon her entourage, all under the guise of alleviating my burdens and ensuring I was not looked down upon. Li Ru fumed. I won't speak on your behalf when we dine with the underprivileged. She relished using my funds to treat fellow students from our major to lavish meals, insisting on 5-star restaurants, while I suggested we eat on campus. To this, she would accuse me of looking down on the impoverished. You think only you deserve to dine at a 5-star establishment? Just because they come from less affluent backgrounds, does that justify your disdain for them? In my past life, I failed to comprehend. School meals were both clean and delicious, so how could dining there be an affront? Forgive me, but I am the daughter of a capitalist. Dining with you all might be seen as an insult. I refused to play the role of the naive benefactor. Upon hearing my refusal, Li Ru became agitated. Did you not promise to cover their meals for the semester? You can't backtrack so soon. The promise was yours, not mine. Oh, come now, what's mine is yours. This is merely to help you gain a favorable reputation. That day, as Li Ru and I entered the cafeteria, we encountered Zhou Min and 2 classmates from our hometown. They ordered 4 dishes, and Li Ru insisted they were impoverished. Looking at my 2 dishes, she scolded, Su Yuan, you are always so inconsiderate of others' feelings. Can't you see they only ordered 1 dish each? How can you continue eating? You are so heartless. She then proceeded to swipe my meal card. adding 2 more dishes for each of them, and apologized profusely. I'm sorry, everyone. She is perpetually selfish. I apologize on her behalf. To make amends, Su Yuan will treat you all to meals at 5-star hotels from now on. How does that sound? Naturally, they agreed, praising Li Ru for her generosity and kind-heartedness. From that moment on, they all looked to her for guidance. They feasted on my funds while turning around to label me stingy and disdainful, embodying the very image of a haughty heiress. My money was spent, yet she reaped the social rewards. In this life, if she thinks to use my funds to curry favor with others, she is sorely mistaken. Noticing my displeasure, Li Ru approached to grasp my arm. You can't be serious. We were just joking. You are no longer the daughter of a capitalist. Look how well I've transformed you. Don't feel inferior. We already consider you a friend. I glanced down at my shabby red shirt, faded and short green ripped pants, and sighed heavily. What a travesty. Li Ru's outfit was utterly ridiculous. What had I been thinking in my past life? Wait outside for me. I need to change. I had a change of heart. Having suffered so much at her hands in my previous life, I was determined to unmask her true self in this one. Your outfit is quite nice. It has a charming commoner's princess vibe. Why change? I shot her a glare. Fine, we'll wait for you. I donned the only white dress I had left in my closet, as the rest had been ruined by Li Ru. Complementing it with a chic little chain bag and stepping into my newly acquired high heels, I admired my reflection in the mirror. This was the authentic me, Su Yuan, untainted by manipulation. As I opened the door, I caught a glimpse of the envy in Li Ru's eyes. She stared intensely at my dress and inquired, how come I've never seen that dress before? I replied, perplexed, it's mine. Why would you care? Can't I wear my own clothes? That's not what I meant. I meant you shouldn't wear that. It might draw attention from our classmates. Perhaps you should change back. Do they have nothing better to do than to scrutinize me? Stop projecting your malice onto others, but I still think. Enough, Li Ru. Let's go. They're waiting for you. Her phone buzzed multiple times, likely from the group growing impatient with our tardiness. After all, they had ordered a feast and were eager for someone to settle the bill. Upon our arrival, they had already placed their orders, including Li Ru's entourage. There were 8 of us seated around a table overflowing with dishes and a single Australian lobster at each place setting. They surrounded Li Ru like moths to a flame. Li Xiaohua, why did you arrive so late? The food is getting cold, indeed. By the way, you don't seem to be looking too well. Waiter, bring us 6 bowls of bird's nest. Women must treat themselves well, especially our beautiful school flower. Exactly. Listening to the flattery, Li Ru's mood visibly brightened. She sat down with an air of triumph, casually gesturing towards me with a smirk. It's my fault for being late in. Accompanying the young lady to change her attire. Only then did the crowd take notice of me. Is this Su Yuan? Surely not. She looks nothing like her. Why isn't she adorned in that vibrant outfit today? The last time I saw her, I nearly burst into laughter. Who can say? The young lady's taste is simply unparalleled. Some may attempt to emulate our campus belle style, yet her elegance is irreplicable. Indeed, who can possess the grace of our esteemed Li, the campus beauty? I was utterly amused. Li Ru often surreptitiously donned my clothes, and over time, had I inadvertently begun to imitate her. It was both absurd and preposterous. Let us raise a toast to our campus belle. A toast to the campus belle. To the campus belle. Cheers. They were exchanging toasts and engaging in lively banter, creating a vibrant atmosphere. I observed them sipping on the finest red wine the hotel had to offer. If my memory serves me right, it was priced at $18.88 per glass. I wondered if their joviality would persist when the bill arrived. Just as they seemed to notice my presence, Li Ru warmly beckoned me over, saying, Su Yuan, come and join us. Everyone here is delightful. I think I'll pass. I replied, hoping to avoid being asked for money later. Li Ru, with an apologetic expression, addressed the group. I'm sorry. It seems that Su Yuan still looks down on everyone. I'll definitely have a word with her later to ensure she embraces all of you. Upon hearing this, the others, who already harbored a poor impression of me, now regarded me even more unfavorably. What S with the arrogance? It's just a bit of money. There are far too many wealthy individuals in this world who lack compassion. Someone like our campus belle, who considers wealth insignificant, is a rarity. Exactly. We shouldn't care about her. She's too afraid to sit with our campus belle, worried she'll be overshadowed. I sat quietly, observing their raucous table. After several rounds of drinks, as Li Ru noted that they had nearly finished their meal, she was about to call me to settle the bill when the waiter knocked and entered. May I ask who is Miss Li? The group, puzzled, pointed to Li Ru. Hello, Miss Lee. President Zhou specifically asked me to deliver a bottle of red wine as an apology. He is currently busy, but will join you shortly. Enjoy your meal. Your President Zhou? Li Ru asked, bewildered, as she did not recognize any President Zhou. Yes, it's President Zhou Yan, the CEO of our group. Oh, Zhou Yan. I've heard rumors that he is a rich heir. It seems to be true. This hotel is actually owned by the Zhou family. He is definitely a wealthy individual. Haha. Our campus belle has quite the charm. Wow. How romantic. Li Ru, he must be pursuing you. Isn't it obvious? Of course he is. The group erupted in playful teasing, while Li Ru's cheeks flushed with embarrassment. Please, everyone, don't say such things. Zhou Yan is merely coming over to greet us because he saw we were all together. We all heard him address you as Miss Lee. Don't be shy. If I had a rich heir pursuing me, I do want the whole world to know. With the addition of that bottle of wine, the atmosphere at the table became even more exuberant. They called for the waiter to add a few more dishes, surrounding Li Ru and elevating her to a pedestal. Each person becoming increasingly inebriated. Li Ru stumbled over to me, and they looked down at me, proclaiming, "We've forgiven you. Now go settle the bill." I remained seated, unperturbed. Li Ru plopped down beside me. "I told you not to dress like that when you come out. Everyone will look down on you." They wouldn't let you pay the bill earlier, but after some persuasion, they agreed to continue dining out with you. All right, everyone is tired now. Hurry up and go. I rolled my eyes at her, thinking, sister, have you had too much to drink? You think it's acceptable to enjoy a feast and then expect someone else to pay? Li Ru looked at me incredulously, Su Yuan, but you invited everyone out. Are you suggesting I'm going to backtrack on that? Her exaggerated outburst attracted the attention of other classmates, who then surrounded me, voicing their grievances. If it weren't for Li Ru, we wouldn't have come out at all. Exactly. Without Li Ru, who would want to dine with you? I coolly replied, well, I certainly wouldn't want to dine with a bunch of paupers. So, who invited you? They exchanged glances. It was Li Ru. Then it settled. The one who invited you should pay. They became agitated. But Li Ru said you were treating us. I don't even have your WeChat. Why would I treat you? Are we from the same hometown? Or friends? They exchanged bewildered looks, finally turning to Li Ru. She looked at me. Didn't you say they were pitiful and should be treated? Wasn't that your statement? They praised you for your compassion and benevolence. You invited them. They ordered the food, they ate, they drank all the wine, and now that it's time to pay, you suddenly remember me? How brazen of you. Do you truly think I'm some gullible fool? You. It's just a meal, I'll pay it. I want to be as stingy as you. Looking down on others. With that, she called the waiter, check please. Hello, miss, the total is 38,888 yuan. Why is it so expensive? Li Ru exclaimed in shock. After confirming the order multiple times, she turned to her friends, who told you to order lobster and bird's nest soup. And the wine is 1888 a glass. Li Ru couldn't help but chastise them for ordering such extravagant items. The group exchanged glances, remaining silent. Realizing her faux pas, Li Ru shifted her tone. I don't have that much money on me. Let us split the bill. Upon hearing this, the group became displeased. You were the one who invited us out. Who else would come to a fancy hotel? You insisted on treating us to dinner, and now you want us to pay? As they began to voice their complaints, Zhou Yan entered. I apologize for the delay. I had something to attend to. Please allow me to make amends. While he addressed the group, his gaze was fixed on Li Ru. With tears in her eyes, she appeared as a defiant little flower. Zhou Yan, looking flustered, asked, Is there a problem? The group chimed in, recounting my supposed misdeeds to Zhou Yan. He looked at me, a glimmer of amusement in his eyes. Then, speaking gently to Li Ru, he said, It's all right. I'll cover this bill as an apology to everyone. Please don't cry, Miss Li. I gazed at Zhou Yan, bemused by his nonchalance, a spendthrift. 4,000 yuan just like that? No wonder the hotel was struggling financially these past couple of years. Upon hearing this, the group collectively sighed in relief, grateful they wouldn't be burdened with debt. Thank you, President Zhou, but we don't require your charity. Li Ru turned to reprimand her friends. Can't you all afford a meal? Do you need someone else to foot the bill? Have some backbone. We can't let Zhou Yan pay. I'll take the lead and contribute 5,000. Thus, Li Ru coerced everyone to chip in over 5,000 for the meal. As we exited the hotel, someone lamented, This is my living expenses for 2 months. I'm worse off. I borrowed 2,000 from a classmate. Seriously? What is her deal? She should have paid, And now we're left covering the cost, and we look like spineless opportunists. Exactly. Didn't you see how Zhou Yan's expression changed when Li Ru said to have some backbone? He looked at her like she was radiant. She just stepping on us to build her own image? Li Ru's little clique was on shaky ground. At the hotel entrance, Zhou Yan offered to drive Li Ru back to school. She hesitated briefly before getting into the car. The rest of us stood by the roadside, exchanging glances in disbelief. Li Ru looked at us with envy. I truly envy you all. You can stroll back. I have to sit in the car. Please be careful on your way home. Yan and I will head off first. From the driver's seat, Zhou Yan winked at me. What an ostentatious display. The small group inhaled the exhaust fumes, deepening their grievances against Li Ru. I hurried back to the dormitory ahead of Li Ru, drawing the curtains around my bed. Just before curfew, she finally returned, her complexion flushed, cradling a stray cat in her arms and wanting to place it on my bed. However, the curtains encircled my bed, making it inaccessible for her. Su Yuan, it's soaked from the rain. Can it warm up in your blanket? The little cat isn't dirty. They groom themselves. Look how adorable it is. I eyed the filthy, sickly cat in her arms. Why not let it stay on your bed? Do you have no compassion? Can't you see it's shivering? Why are you making this a dilemma between you and me? If there's no difference, then let it go to your bed. She, exasperated, could only find a cardboard box to place the cat inside. While placing it down, I murmured, what can I do? After all, you ended up with a heartless roommate, so you must endure here, my little darling. After saying this, I gently patted its head. In my previous life, Li Ru had brought home a stray cat without a second thought, placing it directly on my bed. It had never been examined, and aside from being filthy, it was infested with fleas. Reluctant as I was, Li Ru accused me of lacking compassion. She insisted I sleep on the floor and demanded I purchase exorbitantly priced cat food and gourmet canned meat, claiming that anything cheaper was toxic. Throughout the time the cat stayed in our dormitory, I was the one who took it for checkups, deworming, and vaccinations. When the cat shattered my roommate's cosmetics, Li Ru blamed me, stating I had failed to care for it properly. That cat was truly ungrateful. Whenever I fed it, it would bite me, and my arms were left bleeding from its fierce nips. Li Ru would laugh while cradling the cat, exclaiming, the cat is good, but the person is bad. Thus, I took precautions and secured my bed in advance, preparing for her antics. When Li Ru returned from her wash-up, ready to climb into bed, she discovered that the cat in the box had vanished. After a fruitless search, she inquired with our other two roommates, both of whom claimed they hadn't seen it. Suddenly, a faint meow emanated from her bed, startling Li Ru, who rushed over, tossing the cat from the bed and screaming at it, "You filthy creature! How dare you get on my bed?" The little cat, terrified, scurried away, leaving yellow traces in its wake, and the room was engulfed in an indescribable odor. It leaped onto the table, knocking over Li Ru's cosmetics, then jumped down, toppling a roommate's clothes rack. The dormitory was left in utter disarray. Li Ru, seething at the shattered cosmetics, was ready to catch the cat. However, the little creature, now fully aware of the danger, seized the opportunity to bite her finger, refusing to let go despite her frantic attempts to shake it off. In a fit of rage, Li Ru hurled the cat to the ground. The little cat was significantly injured by the fall, struggling a few times before falling still. Li Ru's hand was bloodied from the bite. Enraged, she turned on me, shouting, "Are you satisfied now?" I was utterly baffled by her logic. If you had just let me place the cat on your bed earlier, none of this would have happened. I suspect you did this on purpose. Hurry up and clean this mess. It's disgusting. I pulled out my phone, recording a video of the cat, captioned the campus beauty's cat abuse, and waved it at Li Ru. "Are you sure you want me to clean up?" Li Ru gritted her teeth in frustration, hastily bandaging her wound before beginning to tidy up. When she reached the area where the little cat had been, she kicked it harshly. Finally, she bundled everything, including the cat, into a large bag and discarded it in the trash. I assumed Li Ru would give me the cold shoulder afterward, but to my surprise, the next day after class, she excitedly approached me. Yuan, I'm treating you to dinner tonight. I sense trouble brewing from this peculiar sister. I'm not going. Yuan, I know you must still feel guilty about yesterday. But it's all right. I've already forgiven you. But I know you want to make it up to me, so tonight, I'm treating, and you'll cover the bill. Hurry up and get ready. They're LLB handsome guys. Handsome guys? Wang Qi. Alarm bells rang in my mind. In my previous life, Li Ru had drugged me, leading to my ruin at Wang Qi's hands. Wang Qi was notorious among the boys in our major, having gained a bad reputation right when we started school. In September, when the weather was still warm, some helpful seniors assisted with moving luggage. However, when it was Wang Chi's turn, everyone stepped back, deterred by the overwhelming stench of someone who hadn't bathed in at least a month. Consequently, no one helped him. Wang Chi claimed it was because the seniors were ostracizing him, envious of his unique manly scent. The irony was that he was short and unattractive, and being within 3 meters of him was suffocating. I couldn't fathom where he derived his confidence. Each day, he attended class with his disheveled hair, causing distress among our teachers. His dorm mates were at their wits' end, frequently reporting him to the dorm supervisor. Despite numerous interventions, he remained obstinate, prompting his roommates to move out one by one. Thus, he continued to be a solitary figure. That was until his indiscretion of secretly filming girls beneath their skirts came to light. The campus security discovered several gigabytes of such material on his computer. Consequently, all the girls kept their distance from him, while Li Ru, feeling pity for him, would often send me to check on him. It was then that he fixated his attention on me, and in a bid to facilitate his advances, Li Ru had drugged me. Later, I learned that the wealthy heir Zhou Yan frequently cast glances in my direction, which incited Li Ru's jealousy, prompting her to conspire with Wang Chi to ruin me. A surge of anger bubbled within me. Li Ru and Wang Chi, you two are a match made in hell. I followed Li Ru to a CAF, and after a lengthy wait, Wang Chi finally arrived. Thankfully, I had the foresight to wear a mask. Why here? It's both pricey and unsatisfying. If you ask me, women are so materialistic. As long as a man is paying, they flock to CAFs to show off. But I understand. You probably wouldn't come here otherwise. Li Ru forced a smile. Haha, it's fine. Today Su Yuan is treating. Wang Chi cast a sideways glance at me, his crooked grin revealing a sinister charm. You think a cup of coffee will win me over? He then loudly summoned the waiter. Waiter, bring me 20 of those cakes. I'm not saying you, but those cakes are so small they barely fill a gap. He devoured the small cakes ravenously, letting out a belch. Then he downed his coffee in one go. Ugh, what is this swill? It's disgusting. Waiter, waiter. Sir, we serve authentic hand-ground coffee. What does it matter if it's hand-ground? It's utterly vile. Attracting glances and whispers from those around us, Li Ru forcibly pulled Wang Chi down, whispering something in his ear, after which he settled down, scrutinizing me with a lecherous gaze. Haha, Su Yuan, I see you've spilled coffee on your clothes. Let me accompany you to the restroom to clean it up. Li Ru, with good intentions, tugged me along, casting a knowing look at Wang Chi as we departed. Upon returning from the restroom, I found a cup of coffee waiting for me. Su Yuan, look how considerate Wang Chi is. He even ordered you a cup. Try it and see if it suits your taste. It was utterly repulsive. Who knew if he had stirred it with his hands while adding something to it? I could barely bring myself to sip, so I merely lifted it and pretended to take a sip. They continued their idle chatter, and after half an hour, feeling dizzy, I declared my discomfort. Their faces lit up with delight, and without even bothering to let me settle the bill, they hurriedly dragged me off to a hotel. At the hotel entrance, we encountered Zhou Yan, who took a step back, overwhelmed by the odor. Upon seeing me glare at him, he cautiously approached, pinching his nose. What are you all doing? Li Ru interjected. Su Yuan had too much to drink with her boyfriend. We're helping her to rest. Zhou Yan, what brings you here? I have some business to attend to, he replied awkwardly, rubbing his nose. Li Ru eyed him enviously. Is this part of the Zhou family's enterprises? Yes, indeed, a small part of the Zhou family's business. It's nothing significant. I just happen to be staying here tonight. I can have your friend in the room next to mine. Li Ru shot me a resentful glance. After escorting me to room 2206, Li Ru lingered, pestering Zhou Yan with questions about his room number and whether he had a girlfriend, making her intentions painfully obvious. Eventually, Wang Chi, unable to bear it any longer, likely recalling their grand scheme, suggested that I should rest and pulled Li Ru away. Once they departed, I opened my eyes, and Zhou Yan exhaled a sigh of relief. Do you think they'll really come back? What? You don't trust your aunt? No, it's just that I find their audacity astounding. Their performance was utterly lacking. Did you notice? Right now, you're like a delectable piece of monk's meat. Li Ru can't wait to devour you. The way she looked at you earlier was almost predatory. Isn't a delightful? A goddess is presenting herself to you. Oh please, what goddess? I only thought her outfit looked familiar, and thought it was you, which is why I glanced at her twice. But didn't you gift her red wine the last time you dined together? I am merely investigating her background for you. She is no good. Keep your distance from her. I've encountered many women of her ilk, and her skills are rather shallow. Do not allow yourself to be duped, only to count the money for others. In my previous life, Zhou Yan had cautioned me, but I believed he held a bias against Li Ru. After numerous arguments, his disappointment in me grew, and within 2 years, he left for abroad, severing all ties between us. The next morning, I was awakened by screams from the neighboring room. Peering through the hallway surveillance, I saw Li Ru hurriedly exit her room, followed by Wang Qi, who emerged with disheveled hair. Eager to witness the commotion, I aroused the still sleepy Zhou Yan to accompany me back to school. Li Ru was in the dormitory, throwing things about. Upon seeing me, her eyes blazed with fury. Where were you last night? I looked at her in confusion. At the hotel. Wasn't it you who booked the room for me? The soundproofing was terrible, and I heard someone screaming early in the morning. You were in your room the whole time? Oh, not quite. I discovered that the hot water heater was malfunctioning, so I had the front desk switch me to another room. In my haste, I accidentally misaligned the door sign, turning 2206 into 2209, which coincidentally matched Zhou Yan's room number. You, who permitted you to change rooms? Li Ru pointed at me, seething with anger. What was I supposed to do? Let Wang Qi invade my space? I gazed at her innocently. What's wrong? What happened? It was evident what had transpired. I had deliberately left the door ajar when I departed, allowing Wang Qi to enter first. Upon discovering the room empty, he was perplexed, only to hear the doorknob turning, mistakenly believing I had returned. Both were filled with guilt, and the silence quickly turned into an intimate encounter. Serves them right. They brought this upon themselves. Li Ru wept bitterly on her bed, shattering things that ought not to have been broken, ultimately swallowing her anger in secret. However, not everyone shared her sentiments. Wang Qi boasted incessantly, claiming Li Ru was his girlfriend. When few believed him, he recounted every detail of their encounter at the hotel. Originally a fringe figure, Wang Qi suddenly found himself in the limelight due to the scandal involving the aloof campus beauty. More and more people became intrigued, and Wang Qi reveled in the attention, embellishing his tales to absurd levels, claiming the campus beauty was utterly devoted to him, promising to arrange outings for his friends. Li Ru spent her days sobbing in the dormitory. She was trapped. If she approached Wang Qi, the rumors would deepen. Through his words, it transformed into a narrative that the campus beauty could not live without him, seeking him out daily and nightly. Soon, the school buzzed with gossip, and the glances directed at Li Ru shifted dramatically. Daily, new acquaintances added her on WeChat, sending her lewd messages. Some called her in the dead of night, only to spew vile obscenities. There were even instances where she was cornered on the street, questioned about her worth. The counselor repeatedly summoned the campus beauty, admonishing her to maintain self-respect as a woman. I felt no sympathy for her, for I had endured the same in my previous life. Li Ru's reputation plummeted. One day, upon returning from gym class, we discovered footprints on the windowsill of our dormitory. Thankfully, nothing was missing. It was clear someone had been scouting the place. Panic ensued, and we contemplated calling the police. Li Ru intervened. He was merely confused. If we call the police, his future will be ruined. Let us give him a chance. We disagreed vehemently. Li Ru accused us of lacking compassion. Remember the stray cat we rescued? You refused to help, and it perished. This time, we're dealing with a living human being. Do you even have a heart? Wasn't she the one who let the cat die? Did she wish to build her moral stature on our backs? I retorted, your sympathy is excessive. If you wish to perish, do not drag others down with you. Su Yuan, I am deeply disappointed in you. I once thought you were merely a spoiled princess, but it seems you are just another wealthy girl, indifferent to the struggles of life. Criminals have their hardships too, you know? Stop adding salt to their wounds. I don't care. No one leaves this room today. And no one calls the police. She lunged for my phone. In my previous life, it had been the same. We wanted to report the incident, but Li Ru resisted, seizing our phones, claiming saving a life was worth more than building a pagoda. She believed she was helping us accumulate virtue. That night, as I slept, a criminal entered through the window, standing ominously at my bedside, intending to take my life. I vividly recall him saying, I detest women who lack self-respect. At that moment, Li Ru cowered beneath her sheets, paralyzed with fear, watching as the assailant struck me. Later, when the police apprehended him, they discovered he had been betrayed by a former girlfriend, which fueled his hatred for women, especially those with tarnished reputations. Who would he target next? I valued my life and chose not to stay in the dormitory that night. At midnight, both emergency services arrived, responding to a reported incident. By the time I arrived, the dormitory was cordoned off, and my friends who escaped were shaken. It was terrifying. Li Ru was stabbed 3 times. That man seemed insane, shouting derogatory remarks while attacking. Do you think Li Ru knows him? Who knows? Her reputation is already tarnished. Right? I heard her dorm was scouted earlier in the day, and Li Ru desperately tried to stop her roommates from calling the police. They must have some connection. When Li Ru was carried out, she was unconscious. Her eyes closed and motionless, blood covering her face. I wondered if she would ever regret her actions. Wang Qi lurked among the crowd, coldly observing the scene. The true instigator behind this tragedy. In both my previous and current lives, he played a role in this chaos. Li Ru survived but was left disfigured. Her family arranged for her to take a leave of absence from school. On the day they came to collect her belongings, I was in the dormitory. Li Ru's face was heavily bandaged, leaving only her eyes exposed. Those eyes bore into me with an unquenchable hatred. After her departure, my life returned to tranquility. I forged new social connections and resumed a normal existence. Until one day, I was intercepted on campus by a hefty woman. Are you Su Yuan? I scrutinized the unfamiliar face, instinctively taking 2 steps back. Who are you? You filthy little bee-teach, stop pretending. The woman shouted, advancing towards me. Was I facing a human trafficker? Realizing the danger, I took off running, but the woman pursued me relentlessly. How brazen! I returned to the dormitory, still shaken. In broad daylight, she dared to confront me at school. Just as I intended to warn my roommates in our group chat, Zhao Ke returned, wearing a peculiar expression. Yuan, have you crossed someone? Not at all. Why do you ask? There's a woman downstairs asking everyone if they know you, waving your photo, claiming you seduced her husband. Seduce her husband? She looked to be in her 40s.
Su Yuan, come out.
You wretched BTCH, dared to act while hiding. From below came a stream of obscenities. I rushed to the balcony, and there she was, the same woman, refusing to relent. Zhao Ke hesitated, glancing at me. You need to go down and clarify. If she keeps this up, the entire school will know. I hurried downstairs, only to find a crowd gathered around the hefty woman who held a megaphone. Upon seeing me, she tossed aside the megaphone and lunged to slap me. You scheming vixen. Fortunately, Zhao Ke reacted swiftly, intercepting her. This lady. Who are you calling a lady? The woman glared at Zhao Ke. Let go of me. Though Zhao Ke was slender, she had strength from martial arts training. The hefty woman rubbed her wrist. You, friend of the mistress, I advise you to keep your distance. I furrowed my brows and retorted, I do not know you, nor your husband. To slander me without reason is grounds for a defamation lawsuit. Slander? Indeed. Look, the rotund woman exclaimed, producing a stack of photographs from her bosom and thrusting them in my direction. Is this not you? Consistently seeking money for my husband. I can even smell your foul essence through the screen. So it truly is Su Yuan. Who would have thought that beneath her icy exterior, she indulges so freely in private? You fail to grasp, do you? This is precisely what provokes excitement. Have you forgotten? That Li Ru from their dormitory operated in the same manner, trading intimacy for mere tens of dollars. It appears this is a tradition within the dormitory. What more do you have to say? You are shameless, utterly devoid of decency. The photographs depicted me, yet the conversations were not mine. Could it be that someone is impersonating me? I exchanged a glance with Zhao Ke, and we simultaneously thought of one person, Li Ru. Only she harbored such animosity towards me to concoct such a scheme for vengeance. I exhausted my vocal cords explaining this to the woman, yet she remained obstinate in her disbelief, unleashing a torrent of accusations against me. I reported the matter to the police. Soon, the husband of the hefty woman arrived, clad in a sharp suit, exuding the aura of a successful individual. Upon seeing me, he appeared pleasantly surprised. Yuan, I have sought you out numerous times. You have finally emerged. You are even more beautiful in person than in your photographs. The woman erupted, you shameless creature, flirting right before my eyes. She then proceeded to scratch his face. You tigress, I shall divorce you sooner or later. Enough. Let us cease this cacophony. The police officer approached with a notepad. Mr. Chen, we have summoned you to ascertain the details of this case. Your wife claims that Su Yuan solicited 400,000 from you online. Is there any truth to this? Mr. Chen gazed at me, his eyes filled with infatuation. There is some truth to it, but it is not urgent. How much does yuan require?
I have plenty.
You. The woman stomped her foot in frustration. Mr. Chen, I believe there has been a misunderstanding. I am Su Yuan, but not the one who has been conversing with you. Mr. Chen looked at me, bewildered. It is you. You even mentioned a red mole on your lower back. Lift your shirt to show me. That Li Ru. After the police arrived and gathered the facts, they escorted us all to the precinct. Mr. Chen. According to our investigation, the individual who is conversing with you is someone else. The officer stated, producing a photograph. Do you recognize this person? Mr. Chen shook his head in disbelief. We traced the IP address, and it points to the lady in the photograph. However, when we attempted to locate her, she had already vacated the city. The man appeared incredulous. What of my 400,000? We are actively pursuing this matter. You will be notified of any developments. Mr. Chen cast a regretful glance at me, just as his wife yanked him away. The police advised me to remain vigilant, as Li Ru might attempt to harm me further. Consequently, I unilaterally bound myself to Zhao Ke, accompanying her to classes and meals, no longer daring to venture alone. Despite this, rumors continued to circulate. One day in the dormitory, Zhao Ke suddenly called me. Yuan, are you in the dorm? Whatever you do not step outside. I will return shortly. 10 minutes later, Zhao Ke rushed back, visibly breathless, and cautiously inquired, Have you seen the campus forum? Puzzled. I opened my phone to find a newly pinned anonymous post titled, The Year Su Yuan Was Kept, followed by a glaring explosive tag. The post alleged that I was a promiscuous individual, luring others' boyfriends, and included photographs of me disembarking from Zhou Yan's luxury car. It claimed I was engaging in relationships for money and had been confronted by another's wife. It further insinuated that the luxury items I carried were acquired through my liaisons with wealthy benefactors. The post had been published the previous night and garnered vast attention and discussion, amassing a staggering 3,000 comments within a single evening, its popularity surging. I always thought she was just plain when she entered school. How astonishing that she transformed so beautifully. It must be from selling herself. It seems that when a woman goes astray, wealth follows. How did such a person gain admission to our school? Did you see her today? Will she even dare to show her face again? Utterly immoral. As I read the post, my hands trembled uncontrollably around my phone. Just like in my previous life, I had been the victim of slander. Zhao Ke regarded me with concern. Yuan, are you alright? I was far from alright. I was determined to retaliate. I registered an account and unleashed a flurry of insults beneath the post. You vile creature, your ignorance shines like a beacon. Accusing me of selling myself? Did you witness this with your own eyes? Your mind is a cesspool. Does your mother know of your disgrace? With nothing better to do, you scrutinize who descends from luxury cars, envying others' possessions while you remain a rodent, perceiving the world as a sewer. I have saved the IP from your post. Expect the police to come knocking on your door, scum. After 2 minutes of scathing commentary, the post vanished. How cowardly. I called Zhou Yan. Is the administrator dead? My reputation is being tarnished. Zhou Yan, having just awakened, sounded groggy. What happened? I sent him the screenshots. You better trace this person. If you fail, your father will cut off your funds. Wait, little ancestor, I'm on it. 10 minutes later, I received a message from Zhou Yan, come to the instructor's office. We found the culprit. Upon seeing Sun Jia, I was left in shock. In the dormitory, she maintained distant relations with everyone. I had always assumed she was simply shy. Not realizing, she looked down upon me.
Why?
I questioned her. You harmed Xiaoru so terribly. Am I not speaking the truth? The one who should be chastised is you, having manipulated events to harm Xiaoru. She and Zhou Yan were a perfect couple until you interfered. Now you two are still together. Are you enticing older men behind Zhou Yan's back? Zhou Yan, taken aback, gaped in astonishment. Couple? Who? You think I am referring to us?
She is my aunt.
Are you out of your mind? I was so infuriated I nearly laughed. I ride in my nephew's car. How does that make us a couple? They have not even begun courting. Yet I am accused of stealing her boyfriend? Li Ru failed to ensnare anyone and inadvertently fell into her own trap. How can you blame me? Sun Jia refused to believe. Impossible. Li Ru clearly stated. I shook my head. Your lack of intellect has made you a pawn. The instructor intervened to mediate. Enough. If the misunderstandings are resolved, that is sufficient. It is getting late. You should all return. I reported her. What did you just say? The instructor nearly leaped from his seat. She has defamed me. If I do not report it, others may think I am guilty. Yet you cannot disregard the school's reputation. The instructor was in a frenzy. The police took Sunja away. Within a month, law enforcement had visited the school twice, both pertaining to our major, leaving the instructor with a pained expression as he knocked on the dean's door. My father returned to the country and instructed his secretary to deliver a dress to me. The chairman mentioned there is a casual gala tonight, a chance for you to unwind. He also mentioned that there will be many eligible young men present. That old man. I shall come to fetch you tonight. The secretary hurried away. I recalled how, in my previous life, after my disfigurement, I had succumbed to despair and leapt from a building. My dapper father had aged overnight, seeking answers from Li Ru only to be framed and imprisoned. In this life, I would not allow anyone to harm him again. I donned the new dress, and Zhao Ku was taken aback. Wow, Yuan, you look stunning. At the entrance of the gala, as I alighted from the car, I encountered Lu Chen. He leaned against a black stretch limousine, evidently awaiting someone. Lu Chen was a legend at our school, a prodigy in business who had established a multi-million-dollar empire at a young age. Currently one of the most sought-after entrepreneurs in City A, Lu Chen appeared to recognize me. Su Yuan Jr.? Hello, Senior, it is I. How the girl has transformed, becoming increasingly beautiful. You, Senior, are quite charming as well. A vehicle halted beside us, and a ravishing woman emerged. She casually linked her arm with Lu Chen's, casting a scrutinizing glance at me. No wonder you didn't wait. It appears you found yourself a new sister. Lu Chen chuckled. What nonsense. This is my fellow alumnus. The woman extended her hand toward me. Hello, I am Qian.
Hello, Su Yuan.
All right, Chen, let us head inside. It's quite chilly here. You all go ahead. I am waiting for someone. Then Qian, and I shall take our leave. With that, Qian eagerly took my hand, leading me out of Lu Chen's sight. Once we were out of view, she disdainfully released my hand and shifted away slightly, as if I were something unsightly. Goodness, can one change their demeanor so swiftly? Lu Chen is mine. Do not harbor any inappropriate thoughts. Just then, Lu Chen ushered in a rotund, balding man, and Qian dashed forward. Mr. Li? We have eagerly awaited your arrival. Mr. Li leered at her. Miss Qian, have you missed me? How annoying Chen is still here. Ha ha ha, surely. General Manager Lu wouldn't mind. Would he? Lu Chen's expression remained unchanged. Of course, your admiration for Qian is her honor. It seems that Qian is not solely Lu Chen's companion. Mr. Li suddenly spotted me standing nearby, his eyes lighting up. Is this young lady also brought by General Manager Lu? I hastily stepped aside, thinking, ugly man, do not approach me. The banquet was about to commence, and my father had yet to arrive, leaving me utterly bored. The bald man approached again. May I have the honor of inviting Miss Su for a drink? I looked at him, recalling my father's words about the many fine gentlemen at the banquet. Surely, he must have been abroad too long, his taste distorted. I do not drink. Well then, Miss Su, might you be interested? The bald man drew closer, his hand inching towards me. I quickly stood up, about to leave when Qian appeared behind me. Mr. Li is a wealthy businessman from the harbor city. Miss Su, perhaps you should reconsider? Reconsider? How absurd. Trying to drag others down with her own misdeeds. Miss Qian, do seize your opportunity. I shall not involve myself. The bald man refused to let me go. And tensions rose. When Lu Chen intervened, Mr. Li, Miss Su Yuan is my junior. Why must you stoop to engage with a young lady? If she has offended you in any way, I shall apologize on her behalf. He then leaned in to whisper something to Mr. Li, and they exchanged hushed words. The look in Mr. Li's eyes sending chills down my spine. Lu Chen pulled me aside. I apologize, Junior. I did not mean for you to be frightened. Mr. Li is our investor, and I cannot afford to offend him. I sincerely apologize. He then picked up a glass of wine from a nearby tray and handed it to me. Remembering how he had just come to my aid, I accepted the glass and took a gentle sip. He then called out to Qian. Qian, stay by Su Yuan's side, and ensure nothing like what just happened occurs again. Reluctantly, Qian acquiesced. My head felt increasingly heavy, with my father still absent. I resolved to call the driver to take me home. Just as I stood up, a waiter bumped into me from behind, spilling red wine all over me. Qian, why aren't you quickly accompanying Miss Su to change? In the hotel corridor, the cold wind jolted me awake. Wait a minute. I had deliberately scanned my surroundings when I stood up, and there was no one nearby. How could that waiter have appeared so suddenly behind me? Moreover, at such events, The servers are well-trained and would never collide with guests. Qian accompanied Zhou Yang to the banquet, yet her focus had been solely on me. This was not normal. They were being deliberate. With this realization, I turned to leave, but Qian grabbed my arm, her smile oddly twisted. "Where are you off to, Miss Su?" My unease deepened. I suddenly remembered I left something in the lobby. At that moment, a wave of dizziness washed over me. I shook my head, trying to remain alert. The drink Lu Chun had given me was tampered with. Watching my swaying figure, Qian snorted coldly. "Now that you're here, why try to leave? Playing the high and mighty?"
Miss Su.
I struggled to make sense of the person before me. The tone of her voice was unmistakable.
What?
"Have you forgotten me so quickly?" "Li Ru." My heart raced. She had undergone a transformation. "Li Ru, you are committing a crime."
Oh.
"A crime?" "Zhou Yang rules a city. Who would dare to touch him? What are you planning to do? That bald man has taken a liking to you. He has made you his prize." I attempted to rise, but Li Ru's figure grew increasingly blurry. I fell into a man's embrace. "Enjoy yourself, Miss Su." My consciousness began to fade, and darkness enveloped me. I do not know how long it was before I awoke, finding myself still in the hotel. I sat up in alarm, realizing someone had changed my clothes. Outside, I heard my mother's furious voice. "What were you thinking bringing her here? How could you let her be alone here?" My father stammered. "I didn't expect the security to be this poor. In broad daylight, they dared to." "Enough. If anything happens to Yuan, I shall never forgive you." My mother gently pushed the door open. Yuan, my little darling, you're awake. Is there anywhere you feel unwell?" I looked at her, shaking my head as tears welled silently in my eyes. My father rushed over. "What's wrong? If you ask me, you should just play your violin back home. Traveling so far, you barely see your daughter a few times a year." I nodded. In my previous life, my greatest regret was not seeing my mother before I died. "My good child, mother will never leave again. I will stay home with Yuan. "Chairman," came Xiao Zhou's anxious voice from outside. "Our company's stock has been plummeting. What happened?" "It was just fine at the office. The media has exposed your affair." Xiao Zhou's voice grew quieter. "What? Affair?" My father could hardly believe his ears. "Oh, you Su Guiqing. So you tossed your daughter aside to indulge yourself. Clear this up for me. Who is that vixen?" "Oh, there's no vixen. I just came from the company." I sensed something was off, opened my phone, and saw the top trending entertainment news photo, and my vision went black. What's wrong? My parents surrounded me, and I saw my phone displaying the headlines. Shock. 20 years of marriage cannot compete with a pure young woman. Sue's Wood Industry Chairman's intergenerational romance, accompanied by a 20-second video of my father carrying me into the room. We three exchanged wide-eyed glances. "I saw it, Mrs. Su arrived later and slapped Mr. Su. Yes, not just one slap, but shoving and pushing. Even then, Mr. Su did not let go of the girl in his arms. True love is invincible. Mrs. Su was red-eyed at the time. It was truly heartbreaking. Engaging in true love while married? How disgusting. Silence was the only sound in this moment. My father was the first to speak. "No worries. We have surveillance. The footage is clear. I rescued you from that bald man, and I even gave him a beating. Xiao Zhou, go to the front desk and request the video." After a while, Xiao Zhou returned with his head hung low. "Chairman, they said the surveillance in the corridor was damaged. Those scoundrels. Contact the PR department immediately and issue a statement." "Yes, Chairman. My dear daughter, who is plotting against you?" I recounted the entire ordeal to them, and my father slammed his fist down. "This is outrageous. Lu Chun is a scoundrel." With that, he hurriedly dialed a number. As my mother scrolled through her phone, she suddenly screamed, Yuan, come here." I hurried over, and beneath the entertainment rankings was yet another anonymous accuser. I recognized the female protagonist in the video. She is a student at University A, notorious for her promiscuity, and her reputation has always been quite dismal, frequently acting as the third party in relationships. She has been kept by wealthy patrons, and one of their wives even caught her in the act at school. Despite her youth, she flaunts a wealth of luxury goods, and everyone knows how she acquired them. The accuser, masked and hatted, I instantly recognized as Li Ru. She even released a video featuring a segment where Mrs. Chun threw photos at me, berating me as a seductive vixen who enticed her husband. The video clearly displayed the photos and chat logs. A single stone stirred 1,000 waves. The internet was rife with accusations against me. My father's statement had yet to be released, and I was already under siege. Netizens flocked to the social media account of University A, demanding, "What is the admission score for your school's Vixen major? Can I get into University A without seducing someone? What is the school's ethos? Is Ms. Su applying her studies in a practical manner?" The comments on the pinned video surpassed 300,000, and the situation was spiraling out of control. A poll was initiated, asking whether parents would allow their children to attend University A. With the admissions season approaching, the dean was frantic. My advisor called me several times, but I didn't pick up. Influencers were quick to react, with some live streaming outside the hotel. "Folks, if that vixen dares to show her face, we'll expose her true nature. Let us shower her with gifts." The situation began to escalate uncontrollably. My mother quickly summoned my father. "Stop focusing on Lu Chen for now. You need to get that trending topic about your daughter removed." My father frowned. "I'll urge Xiao Zhou. Why is it taking so long to issue a statement?" "Chairman, it's done. The statement has been released." We three stared at the tablet, hoping for a reversal in public opinion. However, the comments read, "Daughter? What daughter? In what sense? Of course, she's a goddaughter." They think such a flimsy excuse would hold water? The Su family's behavior is quite unbecoming. Are they really claiming her as a daughter for the sake of stock? Feeling sorry for Mrs. Su, it's like swallowing one's own teeth. Her husband is unfaithful, and she is to acknowledge a daughter? Ugh, just thinking about it is nauseating. All fake. I'm from University A, and I've never heard of Su Yuan being the Su family's heiress. What do we do now? My mother was at a loss. Don't look at me. I have no idea. The poor old man, over 50, had never witnessed such shameless business warfare. "It's all right, Dad, I have evidence." I reassured him. I attempted to call Mrs. Chen, uncertain if she would testify on my behalf. "Why would I help you? The situation online is so intense. If things go south, my family will be affected. What about the 400,000? Do you have a solution? If you testify for me, I'll pay you $1 million. Really?" Mrs. Chen acted quickly. She hung up and revealed the police report from that time. Someone impersonated Su Yuan to deceive my husband. "If anyone recognizes the woman in the photos, please assist me." Attached was a photo of Li Ru before her cosmetic surgery. The very one shown at the police station. Is this real? Let us take a closer look. It should be authentic. The involved party has come forward. Don't be naive. Money can move mountains. Indeed, the hearts of netizens seemed as unyielding as iron. Resigned, I picked up my phone and dialed my advisor. As soon as the call connected, I was met with my advisor's booming voice. "Su Yuan, where have you been? The internet is in an uproar. If the school fails to enroll students this year, I want to let you off the hook." I quickly apologized. "Please don't be angry. Is Sunja at school? Hurry and have her come out to testify." "Her? She was involved in something scandalous. She might not agree." "That depends on you. I'll see what I can do." "Is it true what they're saying about you being in a hotel?"
No.
"Please believe me. That was really my father. Don't deceive me. This concerns our school's reputation. Rest assured, he is my father. Absolutely true. More genuine than gold." I never imagined I would one day have to prove my father is indeed my father. After hanging up, I felt a wave of anxiety, unsure if my advisor could persuade Sunja. As I pondered, I received a call from Zhou Yan. "What is going on, Auntie? Why are the rumors online so outrageous? You look just like my grandfather. Are their eyes malfunctioning?" I interrupted his rambling. "We can't leave the hotel right now. And netizens don't believe my father is my father. Can you go to my house and fetch the household register?" "Sure." An hour later, Zhou Yan sneaked in. The hotel entrance looks like a market, all filled with live streamers. Thankfully, their security system is robust. They stopped the crowd at the entrance. Or they would have chased us to our room. He then pulled out the household register and a stack of photos. "I was clever enough to bring photos of you with my grandparents. I have pictures from childhood to now. This time, let us see if they still don't believe. They might claim these are edited." "No way." We posted the household register and photos online, for heads huddled around the tablet. "Edited? I can tell at a glance." Zhou Yan's face fell upon seeing that comment. Did they get the household register updated that quickly? "No, this seems legitimate. It wouldn't be that fast to register, would it? Is it real?" "No way. Did I cyberbully the wrong person?" Just then, Sunja's video was released, where she admitted to her involvement in defaming me and clarified the incident regarding Mr. Chen, aligning closely with what Mrs. Chen had said. The netizens fell silent. I recorded a video explaining the situation from start to finish, including the 2 police reports. The internet is not a lawless zone. If anyone continues to slander our family, the Su family will pursue justice to the end. Finally, the netizens began to believe. I'm sorry, I may have been a bit too loud earlier. Poor Mr. Su. To save his daughter, he's being accused of infidelity. I want to slap myself. It's clear that the person who posted this news intentionally misled everyone. How despicable. Yes, and what about that accuser? Who is she to unjustly malign a young girl? University A has been on a roller coaster these past few days. The first video had nothing but insults. The dean must be losing sleep over it. With such vitriol, University A didn't even disable comments. Truly a prestigious institution with great composure. Mrs. Chun is so kind, coming forth to testify for Su Yuan. I previously accused her of being money-hungry. I'm off to buy something from her shop to make amends. Me too. The netizens rushed to Mrs. Chun's shop to make purchases, and she sent me a message. Thank you, sister, I profited. This storm had finally passed. I couldn't remain idle. The enemy lurked in the shadows while I was exposed. Li Ru would undoubtedly devise endless schemes to torment me. I needed to take the initiative. Lu Chun had built his reputation in the jewelry industry. So I hinted to my father that the Su family intended to enter the jewelry market in City A, openly and covertly stealing several investors from Lu Chun. I also offered double the annual salary to the designers at Lu S Jewelry to lure them away. Then I sent my own designers to Lu S to create replicas. Once the wealthy ladies realized they were wearing imitations, they began to boycott Lu S Jewelry, causing its sales to plummet. I heard that Lu Chun was furious, smashing several sets of tea sets in his office. Amidst his turmoil, I arranged a meeting with him under the guise of an investor. He was taken aback upon seeing me. It's you? I'm here to discuss a business deal with you, Mr. Lu. The Su family has injected capital into the Lu family jewelry business, aiding President Lu in his resurgence. Lu Chun, incredulous, lifted his gaze to me and asked,
What do you want?
Shares. I declared. Miss Su, your tone is rather audacious. I am not yet at the point of selling my company. Angrily, he departed. No matter. He would soon acquiesce. Upon returning, I anonymously reported his company's tax issues. The next day, Lu's firm issued an announcement halting all operations during the investigation, resulting in a significant financial loss. Once the tax authorities intervened, even if the company was found to be in the clear, the process would inevitably drag on for at least 2 weeks. For Lu's company, this was undoubtedly a calamity. I heard that Lu Chen's hair had turned gray from worry. However, this was not sufficient. I needed to stoke the flames to compel him to seek me out. I orchestrated a trending topic about Lu Chen. It revealed that his rise was largely due to wealthy women. It was said that he garnered their favor while working in bars, which led to introductions within elite circles. The gossip further alleged that he maintained ambiguous relationships with several affluent women who would bid on jewelry, with the highest bidder gaining his attention for those days. The public was scandalized. No wonder Lu jewelry is so exorbitantly priced. It's merely a contest for the affections of the rich. How appalling! We have purchased several sets. What was once thought to be a myth about Lu jewelry going public in 3 years now seems entirely reliant on President Lu's connections. Lu Chun remained silent, aware that his ascent was indeed intertwined with these affluent women. The reputation of Lu jewelry was thoroughly tarnished, and no one dared to purchase, fearing the ensuing scandal. Lu Chun maintained his composure, only contacting me a day after the scandal broke. Miss Su, we need to talk. We met at the same CAF as before. He appeared even more haggard after a few days. It seemed the pressure from the wealthy ladies was formidable. Does what you said last time still hold true? He inquired. Of course, but given the current situation of Lu's firm, I am willing to relinquish 10 of the shares. Despite owning 50, he was only willing to part with 10. He sought funds while also wishing to retain control. This cunning fox was dreaming. I rejected his offer, stating, That is hardly adequate. 10 is not worth the investment from the Su family. Lu Chun suggested tentatively, What about 20? Please don't make this difficult for me. After all, I do not wish to sell the company, and circumstances may change in the future, at which point I would want to reclaim these shares. Feigning hesitation, I responded, Very well, but President Su must agree to one condition. You must hand over Li Ru to me. Not a problem. Lu Chun departed with a spring in his step. Unbeknownst to him, I had already acquired 40 of the shares from minority shareholders. Should Lu Chun part with another 20, I would become the largest stakeholder in Lu Jewelry. 8 p.m. at Xingyue, I noted with a smile at the text from Lu Chun. The true drama was just beginning. When I arrived, Li Ru was already waiting in the lobby. Upon seeing me, she turned to leave, but I caught her arm. Shall we sit and chat? Why are you here? Where is Ah Chun? He has traded you for the Su family's investment. Impossible. I don't believe it. She dialed Lu Chen, but he did not answer. What have you told him? How could he abandon me? I have done so much for him. You must be deceiving me. I presented the text from Lu Chen. Do you believe me now? Li Ru's fear became palpable. What do you intend to do? Rest assured. Considering our shared history as classmates, if you divulge what Lu Chen has done, I will let you go. You plan to go after Ah Chen? No way. I want to say a word. Li Ru, understand this. Lu Chen has already forsaken you. Mrs. Chen is searching for you everywhere. If the online community discovers that you are the one involved in a scandal, the orchestrator of the misinformation, what do you think will happen? Li Ru collapsed onto the couch, finally relenting. I will talk. I discreetly activated a recording device. It turned out that after dropping out, Li Ru felt increasingly resentful and used my photographs to engage in relationships with various men online, seeking revenge against me. One of these men was Lu Chen, who, upon discovering that she was not the genuine Su Yuan, blackmailed her into securing deals with wealthy patrons. This group of women had multiple victims, including students working to support themselves and girls like me who had been drugged and exploited by affluent men. They were too intimidated by Lu Chen's authority to speak out. I've shared everything I know. Can I leave now? I nodded, and after Li Ru departed, I summoned my bodyguard to follow her. How could I let her escape after the havoc she wreaked upon my life? I contacted the girls Li Ru mentioned, all of whom were willing to testify. Looking at the substantial pile of evidence before me, I smiled. I could finally bring Lu Chen down. Once I gathered enough evidence, I presented it to the authorities, and Lu Chen was swiftly apprehended. The Lu jewelry empire, which had dominated City A for 3 years, was reduced to mere spoils for the Su family. Miss Li Ru is packing to flee. Keep an eye on her. I'll be there shortly. I then dialed Mrs. Chen. Come to Yueshi Xiangsong. We found Li Ru. Mrs. Chen arrived in a flurry, equipped with live streaming gear. Folks, we caught the mistress. This woman seduced another's husband and led the smear campaign against Miss Su Yuan. Today, no gifts. Just watch me confront the mistress. The viewership surged into the thousands. Send me the address. I'll be there in a flash. I'm on my way too. It seemed that in just a few days, Mrs. Chen had mastered the role of an internet celebrity. Li Ru, oblivious to the unfolding drama, descended the stairs elegantly after a meticulous makeover. But as she approached a blue BMW, she sensed something amiss. Turning around, she was met with rows of cameras aimed at her. Who are you? How did you get in? Security. Security. You sly minx, relying solely on men, aren't you? What are you saying? I don't know you. Don't know me? Weren't you just disparaging me as a yellow-faced old hag online? How did you suddenly forget? You even tried to manipulate my husband into divorcing me to marry you. Angered, Mrs. Chen could no longer restrain herself and slapped Li Ru twice. Li Ru, clutching her face, glared back with fury. You old hag, I'll fight you. The two began to grapple, but Li Ru was no match for Mrs. Chen, who easily overpowered her. As Li Ru struggled, she spotted me in the crowd. Su Yuan. Su Yuan, save me. How audacious. I was under no obligation to assist her after all she had done. I coldly glanced at her and remarked, everyone, let us not continue to strike her. She is merely a mistress who has drugged girls to offer them to wealthy men. Why shouldn't we forgive her? The crowd, upon hearing my words, became even more incensed. Li Ru managed to break free and dashed away, but as she exited the community, she was struck by a speeding truck. The driver emerged, cursing, watch where you're going. Are you in a hurry to meet your maker? Li Ru stood dazed. Where am I? Spotting me. She recoiled in shock. Su Yuan? Aren't you dead? Oh, please, you're the one who should be dead. What fresh curse is this? She looked down at her attire. What is going on? I was just about to marry Lu Chen. How did I end up here? A chill ran through me. Li Ru had been reborn. In my past life, when I died, she was already entwined with Lu Chen, rumored to be on the brink of marriage. But perhaps it was for the best. Being cast down from her peak would surely deepen her pain. Lu Chen, I must seek Lu Chen. Do not lay a finger on me. I am Mrs. Lu. Once I inform Ah Chen, you shall all face dire consequences. Yet, she was unable to rise, for her legs had been shattered in the accident. Among the crowd, a meddlesome bystander remarked, Lu Chen is currently in custody. Fret not. We shall swiftly take you to him. Ha ha ha, what a madwoman. Who would have thought that Lu Chun would go bankrupt? Yet there are still those who aspire to be Mrs. Liu. Indeed, the allure of President Liu is boundless. What do you mean, where is Lu Chun? Impossible. Lu's jewelry boasts assets in the millions. How could it possibly be bankrupt?
Who among you will escort me to him?
I shall reward you with 100,000. Her pleas were met with the derision of the crowd. Ultimately, the paramedics arrived and took her away. It was later rumored that she had succumbed to madness within the confines of her cell, incessantly declaring, "This is not how it should be. I am the heroine of this world." However, none of this concerns me any longer. The old man entrusted me with Lu's jewelry for practice, and upon graduating, I became the esteemed President Su, celebrated by all. Having lived anew, I have finally liberated myself from the shadow of Li Ru and returned to the rightful path of my life.
The end.
Thank you for listening. If you enjoyed this tale, please consider subscribing and liking to show your support. Until we meet again in the next story.